agenda. First, reporting, we have Carol Eskew here from June Eskew Accounting Firm. We received an email just reminding us that our line of credit terms will be coming up in
End of August.
end of August. So she needed to discuss with the board what some of our options are in converting the line of credit to the actual loan, right?
Yes.
So Carol, I'm going to turn that over to you and take us through this.
Sure. So when you took out this loan, you had a 24-month line of credit associated with it. So what does that mean? That means you have 24 months basically to work on and finish the project and draw down as much of the funds as you need. So we started with a $4.6 million loan. $757,000 was collected by your fellow unit owners who paid their share in full. So when we get done, we can draw down approximately $3.7 million on that loan. There are other things as well, based on the loan and the requirements and some reserve money that has to be set aside, as well as debt service money. So we started with about $3.7 million that we can draw down, because we already collected quite a bit. So since then, we have drawn down $1,441,000 and change. I have the exact number if you want. So that leaves us $2,252,715 as of March 31st to draw down.
Give me that number.
I'm going to give you the sheet.
Okay, just two.
$2,252,715.12. That is the balance as of March 31st that we have to draw down on the loan. And because of the terms of the loan that says we have 24 months to draw all this money down. So what happens is, in the beginning, we all think everything's going to go smooth, we're going to get permits, everything's going to just be on time. 24 months was more than enough time. Well, permits took a lot longer to get than what you would have expected. And we're seeing this with, unfortunately, a lot of cities. Your city's not unique. So it pushes you further out. So by this August 31st, a decision has to be made actually prior to that, at least 2 weeks before, what we're going to do when we're at that point. So let's say they're 80% done with the work. And we still have, we'll say, $800,000 left to draw down. We have to decide how we're going to handle this. So there's two options, basically. We can go back to the bank and say, will you extend the line of credit period? Which means they're going to say to the vendor and to your engineer, tell me how much more time you need. And they're going to make a decision at the bank, yes or no. Or the bank will say, draw down the balance of what's left that you can draw down. They're going to put it in a separate bank account. They still need to approve every time you do a draw when that happens. So, as the way these construction loans work, the bank must approve every time there's a draw. So your engineer approves it, the contractor gives them the bill, the engineer makes sure it's right, the engineer sends it over. We have to send it over to the board to sign for the draw with the proper form for the bank. Then we submit to the bank the draw form and the A1A, AIA, whatever people call it, report that goes with it that the engineer has approved. That's how the money is put in the bank account and how we pay the vendor for that particular invoice. So we have to decide, the board, by, we'll say, the middle of August at the latest, the earlier the better, what you're going to do. If you want me to go to the bank to ask for them to extend the line of credit, I will tell you there's a cost associated with doing that. The bank doesn't do, because they have to do paperwork and their underwriters have to look at it and so forth. Most associations are not opting for that because things are so expensive as it is. But it'll be your decision. We'll find out what they'll charge you if they're willing to do it. Or you can just say, we'll tell them the situation. The engineer might have to draft a little letter or a memo. And we'll take the money and they'll put it in a separate bank account. When they do that, all of that money is then taxable, interest bearing. Right now, you're only paying interest on the money you've drawn down. Come August 30th, 31st, whatever it is, you're going to pay interest on all the funds you've drawn. So, those are the two options that are out there. I don't believe it's going to be feasible for your contractor to finish before the deadline, based on what I've been told. But again, that's not me. I just pay the bills and make sure things get put in the right category and so forth. The engineer is going to be the one, but based on what we were told, they're not going to meet that deadline of August 31st. Questions?
So we only have, you said 3.7, no, 2.52 million left.
No, $2,052,715.12 as of March 31st. So we've done a draw in August. In April, August. I'm ahead of myself.
So is there enough money available now for the finishing of the project?
Well, unless your engineer tells me something different, I don't get updates on if there's anything extra at the end.
And what's the deadline again?
August 31st.
August 31st. So they have to be done by August 31st, or we have to do a draw
Right.
to be able to access the rest of the money we have, which apparently $757,000 been prepaid.
$757,000 were homeowners who paid their share in full who did not go into the loan.
But that goes into the special assessment 2 and 4 account that gets withdrawn from SD engineering.
Oh, that money's already spent, absolutely. We didn't do draws, we used that money, absolutely. That's the money, the first money you always use. You've only done, the first draw was done April 4th of 2024. The second draw was done October 10th of 2024. The third draw was done January 28th of 2025. And the fourth draw was done March 4th of 2025. So we've only done 4 draws. Well, 5 now with April's. But 4 draws through March 31st. And the money that we collected from the folks who paid in full was the money that we used prior to that.
And we've given, you said last year 1.441 million?
No. That's the total draws.
Okay.
That's not what we've given them.
Okay, well, how much left?
I don't have the number. I did not bring that number.
I'm guessing it's millions, a few million.
Oh, sure. Well, you know that they got the
Sufficient for
700
extras fees.
All their invoices are current and paid. Once the engineer sends us the stuff, that's how it gets paid.
And this is why we needed a construction budget last year. Because we need to know what all the fees are.
So any other
So here we
questions?
are, folks. Here we are.
Any other questions that I can answer?
Yes, can you tell us what we collected for the 10+ years prior to the
Well,
second assessment?
yeah, so that was a special assessment number 2. So you're going to have to give me a few moments because I got to go into a special program to find that total number.
But from the invoices I've seen, the council I've reviewed, it looks like a lot of that was spent on all this, was the electrical permits and repairs that were done in 2022, 2023. So I can't imagine much of that money is left, but, and keep in mind, we still, even if we had 4.6